Grand Rising, my people. Grand Rising, my people. Just want to chit chat with you for a minute. Just wanted to chit chat with you for a minute. My peoples. All right, my peoples. I'm going to come talk to y'all today about another experience that I had along my journey, right? About another experience that I had along my journey that I wanted to share. And along this journey, some of these experiences that I've endured, one of the biggest reasons how I endured some of these situations that came my way is because, well, I was able to understand them really well, was simply because I did not drink along this process. Between the time that my son passed and the time that he was buried, in between that time, no alcohol for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any, I wasn't drinking. And this right here, the reason why I tell y'all to pay attention, I always say that, is pay attention to what's going on around you, is because some of the things that's going to go on around you is either going, if you paying attention, you're going to have a choice in there. It's either going to push you to the next level or it's going to keep you in la-la land. You know what I mean? So, meaning that you paying attention to some of these people that's around you, okay? You pay attention to you paying attention to their intentions about the situation around you and regarding you, because you're going to have to understand, when you're going through stuff like this right here, it's a lot of people that's paying attention to you that you're not paying attention to. You see what I'm saying? But when you pay attention for the ones that are interacting with you, for those people that are interacting with you, if you paying attention to those people right there, because at this point, what you got going on is so sharp, you gonna be able to feel some of their energy up off of them. It's gonna let you know. See, at this point, when for me, when Junior, when I lost Junior, it put me in a very, very, very sensitive spot. And when I tell you a sensitive spot, I don't mean sensitive as in emotionally sensitive, you know, like that. I'm not talking about that kind of sensitive. I'm talking about like in a spiritual kind of way. You see, I'm talking about in the spiritual kind of way. See, when I seen this stuff right here, happening, when I seen certain stuff happening, I had a choice to either take it for what it was or look the other way. At that point right there, for you that just lost that child or that parent or that loved one or something like that, and the fact that you done lost them got you sitting back in a state of silence because you regrouping, you thinking something else. You know, guess what? You're going to be met with a choice. And it's either going to be to look past whatever it is or accept it for what it is. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to be able to, like I said, you're going to be able to feel this right off the bat. You're going to be able to feel this right off the bat now. If you're in a situation right now right? Why would somebody want to come and help you down the line? Your car broke down now. And somebody come to you and they say, I was just waiting on your car to do a little better for you come and pick me up before I come over there and ride with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where was you when the car first went down? See, this right here is something that you're going to have to understand, because you're going to have some people that you're going to expect to be around you that aren't going to be around you. I'm telling you that right now. And some of these people, to be honest with you, I don't believe that they want to be around you. Because some of them people, they give you some excuses. Hey, I'm going to give you a little bit more time. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be around a lot of company. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff right there. You're going through something now, right? And so the help is needed at the time. Because I'm going to tell you something. In between that time, when you bury your child or your parent or somebody close like that, when you bury that loved one, that's when the real work come in after that. In between that time, from the time they pass up into the service, the day of the service, that time right there, you just thinking. You ain't really putting nothing together for real, for real. You're really trying to put together what the hell just happened or how you gonna deal with it. Hopefully you're not drinking. I'm telling you. Hopefully you're not drinking. That is a not good time to drink. That is not a good time to drink. I know people handle their stuff differently. I understand it. Some people, hey, I get it. Trust me. But alcohol is not the thing to do at that time, because you got too many people around you for you not to know what's going on. Okay? This right here is what this is what I was doing for myself around this time right here, man. Because I knew that I had to think. I knew there was going to be a lot of people around me. And I need to still think. You know what I'm saying? Outside of what I was already going through mentally. You know what I'm saying? That alcohol is not going to make you think no better. You know what I'm saying? What it's going to do is it's going to make you bypass. You're not going to see a lot of stuff, and it's going to keep you in la la land. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get the message out of this. It's a message behind this death. There is a message behind this death. That death that you just went through, it was a message behind that. And you need to be sober in order to hear it. And you don't just take this message that you're getting and write it off. That's not what you're doing. You're not writing off this message right here. You're going to get a message, and that message is going to come. That message is going to come every day. That message that you're going to get, I don't know what message you're going to get, but you're going to get some kind of message every single day. And you're not to write that off right here, because this right here is your spirit talking to you. Can't nobody hear this message but you. And if you try to go tell somebody whatever this message is that they giving to you, that your spirit is giving to you, if it's just for you, you're not going to be able to tell it to nobody else, because it won't come out. I don't care which way you try to slice it. I don't care which way the way that message came to you, you would not be able to regurgitate that to nobody else the way it came to you and make it sound like it sounded when it came to you, because that message was only for you. Don't write that off. You're going to get much of that right there. And you're going to get that right there when it come down to everybody around you. You're going to get some type of message from somebody around you. I'm telling you, it's going to be some type of message that you get. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, for instance, let's just say, let me give you an example of how this message will look. Let's just say somebody wasn't around at this time right here, right? Let's just say at the time before you buried your child or your loved one. Let's just say, for instance, a person that you thought was supposed to stood the tallest with you didn't show up, right? Let's just say that, for instance. Well, time later, when you done put in work and you done healed yourself or trying to heal yourself, and you're not really in that sunken place no more, months down the line, when that person come to you that should have came to you a while ago, when they come to you, they gonna think that you still in that sunken place. You see what I'm saying? And if you accept that, then you allowing others, you missing the message. That person wasn't really there for you like that. Okay. It was a reason why they wasn't there for you like that at that time when you needed them to be there at that time. Now you done went on. What was the message in that right there? The message was keep your distance. If that's the way you're going to be, you see how that relationship is. You see what that relationship really is worth to them. You know what I'm saying? Don't write that off. Do not write that off. You know what I'm saying? Don't write that kind of stuff off, because you're going to be faced with a lot of that. And this right here is how you're going to see the ones that was there for you versus the ones that was there for you. Because you're going to have some people that's there for you, but then you're going to have some that was there for you, and you're going to know those people. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to take away from the other ones that couldn't be there as much. See, in this process, you don't expect anything. Don't expect nothing, because you already going through something. You gonna mess yourself up expecting something from other people. Don't do it. See, that right there is how I was able to kind of move and navigate a little smoother through this thing, because I didn't expect nothing from nobody, man. I didn't expect nothing from nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's very few people that really think like me. Many might not really agree with a lot of stuff that I say. I didn't expect nothing from nobody, bro. To be honest with you, I didn't expect anything from nobody. So therefore, if you didn't show up, I couldn't be mad at you anyway, because I already expect you not to show up. And if you showed up, it was just a plus. You see what I'm saying? See, mentally, you got to navigate your way through this stuff, because again, like I said, you going through something and you don't have time to be thinking about who gonna show up for you and all this other stuff. You got a child to bury. You know what I'm saying? You ain't thinking about that stuff, but you ain't forgot about it either now. You ain't forgot about it. You know what I mean? You thinking about it. You ain't forgot about it. You see, and guess what? Because you so cool with it, you ain't even gonna mention it. You don't say nothing, because you working on something else. See, when certain things, when people tell you who they are, whether verbally or silently, you're going to have to start believing it for what it is. Stop writing it off, because you vulnerable at this stage right here, okay? And if you keep on writing off certain things that don't feel well within your spirit at that time, then you're going to keep yourself in la-la land. And if you stay stuck in la-la land, guess what happened? It's harder for you to get up out that rut, because you in la-la land. You still thinking about that closing of the coffin. You still thinking about them funeral services. You still thinking about that hearse. You still thinking about the last time you seen your child and the way that they looked, and all type of stuff that's going through your mind. Okay? That's part of the la-la land. That's part of the la-la land. Part of me is still stuck in la-la land. That's the part I'm trying to get up out of la-la land. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing a lot of work. I'm not fully out of la-la land to that aspect, because I'm gonna tell you something, and you might not agree with me on that, but on this, but when you know what I know, you still grieving, part of that is still being stuck in la-la land. You know what I'm saying? I know you can't help it at times. I know it's tough. It's tough, but this right here is why I say you do the work. And then between the time that you lay your child to rest and moving forward, you're going to be doing a lot of work. You're going to be doing a lot of work on yourself. This right here is going to delete some people out your life. It's going to delete some people out your way. It's going to delete a whole lot of drama that you listen to, All this stuff that people want to call you on the phone and talk about that ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't want to hear it no more. All this stuff, you gonna go down a deep state of I don't want to say depression, but some do. Some fall into a deep state of depression. Some fall into a state of anxiety. But in this right here, you're going to fall like into like a deep state of like mental cleansing or something, man. I'm telling you, you're going to start looking at some of these people around you, man. You're going to start looking at even if you don't even look at the people around you, at bare minimum, you're going to look at your current situation, at you. Because that's who you really focus on, for real. You focus on you. But in this right here, focusing on you, you're going to realize there's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to clean up. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you're going to have to clean up. And some of this stuff is not going to look good. Some of it ain't going to feel good. It is, but it's going to be a part of that growth. It's going to be part of what you need to be able to get yourself up out of this right here. Because I'm telling you, man, the real healing and, you know what I'm saying, the real grieving and all that stuff, that start after the service. You know what I'm saying? That stuff starts after the service. It don't, you know, and that can go on for a while depending on how deep in la la land you are. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, you grieving. Yeah, I'm grieving and everything. But guess what? I'm going to tell you something. When I tell you to hold yourself accountable for stuff that you ain't even responsible for, listen, I hold myself accountable for my grieving. I do, because I know better. I know better. I hold myself accountable for my grieving because I know better. I know it's a spirit meaning behind this right here. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that I've been locked into this realm of life for so long, it's kind of hard to, you know, it make it a little difficult to get away from it. You know what I'm saying? You've been locked in for so long. It's what you knew your whole life. You find out something different. It's kind of, you know, it make it hard to let go, you know, of what you used to know. And that's just me being honest with you. That's just me being honest with you. I gotta take accountability at times for my grief because I know on a different realm, I know better. See, and my thing is, I tell people this stuff right here, you know, hopefully they can help themselves out this stuff right here. And you don't grieve too long and sit inside this stuff too long. It'll tear you up. It'll tear you up. And I'm telling you, you steady processing. You're going to be processing for a really long time. Everything is just going to be certain stuff that you just not going to be able to do no more. Is certain things that just not going to fit you no more, period. And you're going to have to know this stuff right here, because after you done did so much work, some of the people, like I said, that should have been around, these people they're going to start coming back around. After you done really did a lot of work on yourself. And you know what I'm saying? It's like when stuff was going down in the beginning, that's when you supposed to been there. That's when a person needed you. A person needed you at that point. You see? A person needed you at that point. They ain't need you to come 8, 9, 10, 11 months down the line talking about, I was just giving you some time. I know you needed a little time. Because I'm going to tell you something. Some of these people back in the day, you probably helped out. That's right. Some of these people that told you that they was going to give you some time to heal and all this other stuff, they didn't want no parts of that. They didn't want to be around you. That's just the bottom line. They did not want to be around you. I don't care how close you thought they was. I don't care about none of that. They didn't want to be around you. Now here it is months later and they still talking that same talk. Yeah, I'll give you a little time. I know you probably going through something and all this other stuff. No, they ain't want to be there. These people did not want to be there. And you make sure you take note of that. You don't hold no grudge though, but you make sure you take note of that. Because the ones that want to be there, they're going to be there. And they don't care nothing about the people that's around, because they are not there for the people that's around. They there for you. even if they have to make exceptions inside their own daily routine. Even if they have to make different arrangements in the way that they do stuff just for a couple days. Just for a couple days. Just to come and, be with you. See, all that stuff right there means something. Because I had people that was taking off of work to come and be with me. You know what I'm saying? People that was flying in from out of town that would have normally been at work. See, you can't just write that off. And then you got people that's here that don't have to fly in, that might be a few blocks away versus the people that got to fly in, and they ain't got to be at work. And if they do got to be at work, they can make adjustments. See, that's what I'm saying. And when you see that from some of these people, you got to make the adjustment. Because again, if you don't make the adjustment, you stay in la la land. These people were not there for you. They wasn't. They wasn't. And the crazy part is this right here. If they was ever in a situation, it was a good chance that you was either there for them or you would have been there for them. And that's the reason why it would hurt you so much that they wouldn't be there for you if you was ever in a situation. Now here it is, you in a situation, they didn't show up. That's why I say you don't expect anything. See, if I had expected this right here, if I had expected certain people to show up, I'd have been, I'd have disappointed myself. Then who is to take blame for that? See, in this right here, in order for you to heal, to be honest with you, you're going to have to take a lot of accountability, and you're going to have to on your own. On your own. Because you dealing with something, but it's accountability to be taken. And you're going to be taking a lot of accountability if you plan on getting over this hurdle. If you plan on trying to get over some of this grief, it's going to be a lot of accountability that you're going to have to take. And I say take it while you wide open. That's the best time to take it. Don't take this stuff and shrug it on down the line, because you're going to have to keep on dealing with it months and months and months later, because you don't want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Do the hard work right now. I say do the hard work right now. Later on, you will see if it pay off or not. But this right here is going to have to be a way of life, though. This ain't going to be something that you just think that you just going to do. Okay, now I'm over it, and then I could just go ahead and move on to the next thing. That's not how that works. It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? It don't work that way. This right here is going to be something that you do. This right here is going to be something that you do on the regular. You're going to do this right here on the regular. Thank you. This is going to be something that you do on the regular. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to practice this. This right here is going to be a practice to the point to where it's just going to become you. Before you know it, man, you have been unchanged to a whole totally different person, man. You have been unchanged to a totally different person. Because it's going to be times where even some of those same people, some of those people that wasn't there, you know what they would do? Some of these people, you could be having a conversation with some of these people, right? And they wasn't there to see your progress like that, right? So guess what's going to happen? You could be talking, and then you could make an example and you bring up your loved one, right? And guess what the other person going to do? They'll listen to you for a minute, and then they'll switch the subject. They'll try to change the subject on you. You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to pay attention to. Because at that point in time, it should be all ears. It should be all ears. But they changed the subject when you was talking about your loved one, right? They changed the subject on you. You know what I'm saying? And their excuse for changing that subject on you was because they didn't want you in that moment or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It might have been something like, nah, let's not talk about that because I don't want to put you down. I don't want your feelings to be all in the down. You know, some in that area. You know what I'm saying? When in all actuality, when you mention it, that could have been you just opening up and just probably starting a venting situation. Maybe maybe it was something that just came to your mind at the moment that you wanted to get out real quick or wanted to say something about, and they figured that it probably lead to something else, so they switch the subject so you don't talk about it because they don't want you to think about it, because they don't want you to feel a certain way and all this other stuff. Take note. Take note, because them people wasn't around you like that right there to know what was going on. Them people wasn't around you like that. So they don't know that you just probably about to touch on something and then keep it moving to the next, whatchamacallit, on your own. But they do it for you. They don't want to talk about that stuff because they don't have no knowledge of it. And I hope some of these people think that they do you justice by trying to switch the subject and flip the subject to something else. You know what I'm saying? And it really don't help. And that right there is one of the bigger reasons why people that go through this right here, they tend to not say nothing to nobody, because we know that you don't understand. You don't understand. For real, you don't understand. Nope, you don't understand. And unless you actually walked in those shoes, dog, you don't understand. And so there's no point in us even trying to have this conversation with you, because at some point in time, when you do try to have a conversation with some of these people, they switch the subject. You know what I'm saying? The conversation never goes. Something come and interrupt something. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to tell the people that's on the other end with you, look, let me call you back. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't know how to tell the people that's interrupting around you when you having a conversation. Hold on, let me hold on 1 second. We talking real quick. I'll get back with you. You don't know how to do that. No, you don't want to hear it. You see what I'm saying? Meantime, between time, the stuff that's going on through their mind, the person that's going through it, they gonna cut that right there and just say, forget it. You know what I'm saying? Then just get back to whatever was going on around them. You see what I'm saying? Staying in la la land. Some people can't do that. Some people can't do that. Because while you said, okay, and went back to La La Land and all the other stuff, for you good. But for the person who going through this stuff right here, guess what? He gonna go through La La Land. He is gonna feel like he gonna feel all the way down here, while everybody else having fun. The volume around the whatever's going on, the volume gonna feel like it's about this low. You gonna see everybody moving around, dancing, having a good time, and the music gonna be up. But up here, that volume was all the way down here, because you hearing something louder up here. You see what I'm saying? And you, like I said, you could try to wipe it out and not listen to it if you want to. That's you staying in La La Land. And you're gonna have to take accountability for that. Because that right there is where a lot of your healing gonna come from, taking accountability. You know what I'm saying? Some of this stuff, some of these things that you're going through, baby, we could, you know, minimize them. You know, and for the ones that you can minimize, I say minimize it. Minimize it if you can, baby. Minimize it if you can. But I'm gonna tell you, between the time that you bury your child and the first 6 months, oh, you gonna see who is who and what is what, if you ain't already found out. If you ain't already found out, do not stay in La La Land. Because by the time you get done with this right here, if you paying attention, your eyes gonna be so wide open. Man, please. Please. The type of stuff that people used to get over on you with that old person that you used to be, that's not flying. That's not about to fly at all. In many cases, you probably won't even entertain it. You don't care what's going on. You don't care about what other problems other people have. You're doing work on yourself. See, when you at this point right here and you doing work on yourself and you start caring about other people's problems, you put yourself back in La La Land. You set yourself back. You can't worry about nobody else's issues. All the issues that you used to worry about before, all the help that you used to give, all of the raising your hand first, being the first to do it, all that stuff got to come to a stop. Yeah. Just like your child's life came to a stop, All that stuff like that got to come to a stop. If that's you that used to do that stuff. Because what you got to do is you got to find who you were again. You got to putting some stuff back together here. And with all that stuff in the way, you would never be able to get back around here, and you wonder why you be having all these mental breakdowns ending up in hospitals and stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Wow. That cat just took that squirrel. I'm sorry, it just broke my attention. Wow. But yeah, that just broke my attention, man. My bad. But that's the whole thing. The whole thing is to stay out of la la land so you can start to see, and you're going to be able to see the real from the fake. You're going to be able to see a whole lot of stuff. I'm telling you, you're going to be able to see a whole lot of stuff. Pay attention. Everybody that looks to seem to be in your corner, they not really in your corner. But your spirit is going to tell you that. I'm telling you, your spirit is going to tell you that. I highly recommend, again, do not drink during this process. You will find out a whole lot of stuff. You will find out a whole lot of stuff. Now, after everything is all said and done, when the service is over with and all that other stuff, hey, if you want to take your little shot of Peek-a-Peek, you know, hey, your little shot of Peek-a-Peek, you know what I mean? If that's what you want to do, you know, but like I said, you don't live in that right there stuff, though. Get as much of that stuff as you can out while it's in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And try to hold as tight as you can. Because it's going to be a ride, baby. I'm going to let you know it's going to be a ride. Some of the stuff that some of these people say to you, you're going to have to use some of this stuff as motivation. You know, that's what I try to do. You know, when people make certain statements about certain things, you know what I'm saying, along this journey. Some of them may have been along this journey, and they may say certain things like, yeah, it's going to take a while. You know, it's going to be like this for a long time. You will never forget this, or, you know, the pain never stops and stuff like that. You know, me, I be more so like, I go against it. You know, I do the opposite. I try to do the opposite. So if you tell me that this right here is going to hurt me for a long time, I try not to let it hurt me for a long time. To a degree, you got control over that. Let's just keep it a whole buck. You got some type of control over that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you, again, in many cases like this right here, you are a victim. You are considered a victim if you've lost a child. But again, for me, just for me, that victim status just don't sit well with me. I don't like victims. In order for you to be a victim, something has to happen to you. Victims lose. That's the reason why I don't like that victim status. I don't like to be looked at as a victim, even though technically speaking, that's what it probably would be. Yeah, but by default, you would be a victim. But man, I don't like to be in that status again, because like I said, victims lose. And I've already done lost a child. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to keep on losing. You understand what I mean? And so you work to get up out that victim status, okay? You don't want to be a victim. You want to be a victor. You want to be victorious in this right here. You know what I'm saying? You want to kind of stand up a little stronger than what people would expect you to do. You know what I'm saying? But you do it on your own. It ain't nothing that you got to broadcast or nothing like that right there. And pretty much you won't be broadcasting it because you pretty much stay in your own lane. You know what I'm saying? Try to help yourself get up out the rut as much as you can. That's what you got to do. You got to get yourself up out that rut as much as you can see. You know what I'm saying? As much as you can help. Because you the one that's going through it. Nobody else is going to see this right here the way you see it. And nobody's going to feel what you feeling or about to feel. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what, what I had to start with today. And that's just my my little 2 cents for today, man. And the reason why I say that is because stay out of La La Land one more again is because you about to start seeing a whole lot of stuff. I'm telling you, it's about to get interesting. Listen to me. You following your spirit in this journey right here, you about to see a whole lot of stuff that's going to blow your mind. You're going to see a lot of stuff that's going to blow your mind in this journey right here, y'all. I ain't lying. It's going to surprise you. Some of it's going to shock you. And the thing of it is just thinking about it right now, I believe now it just got a download. I just got a download, y'all. And the stuff that I'm telling you about after you done went to your child service and stuff like that. Remember I was telling you, it kind of like open you up spiritually. It kind of like open you up. You know what I'm saying? And you start, if you paying attention and you're not drinking and all this other stuff, you start to see stuff that you wasn't seeing before. I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing some stuff that you wasn't seeing before. Now, the download that just came to me said that you're not supposed to see that. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to put a funeral in your face to distract you from thinking like that, because that's exactly the download I just got while I'm on this live with y'all, was that when I lost my son, something came alive in me, man. I don't know what it is. I'm be honest with you. When you lost your child, or for me, when I lost my son, man, something came alive, and I can't touch on exactly what it is at this point, man, but something came alive in me, and it woke your ass right up. And in order to keep you in La La Land, the funeral service had to be present. It had to be of a thing, because what that did was it didn't allow you to think with the shit that opened up in your mind. You start going back to that funeral service, and you start holding yourself back to what you seen your child as last, and it brought your energy right back down. See, if you don't think about that, you could stay in that area where it just woke your ass up, and now you start to see things for what it really is. You can stay in that area right there if you're not thinking about that service, or if you're strong enough to say, hey, wait a minute, that service was a play on my mind. You know what I'm saying? It was a play on my mind just to keep my energy down, so I don't think of the stuff that actually came to me after my son passed. Because I'm telling you, you're going to get some downloads, and it's going to blow your mind for a minute. If you start listening to them, some of it ain't going to make no sense, but don't write it off. Some of it ain't going to make no sense, but don't write it off. This ain't no time to be writing off nothing. Okay? This ain't no time to be writing off nothing. Because like I said, it's something up here that opened up. Again, I can't tell you exactly what it was, but the download that I just got, if I didn't go to a funeral or nothing like that, and I just live with the fact that, hey, my son gone, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? No funeral, no service, no none of that stuff. Guess what? He just gone, and guess what? From that day that we found out he was gone and moving forward, we probably would have, been on a path to recovery a little bit more better. But now we got to drag this on. We still got to talk about, now mind you, you wide open, your spirit wide open at this point. You know what I'm saying? You can see a whole lot of stuff. Again, if you're not drinking, you can see a whole lot of stuff. You see what I'm saying? And so now it's going to be a tug of war at your spirit. Because just when you starting to feel good, a hurdle going to come in there. Boom, you need to go talk to the medical examiner. And then it's like, dang. And as soon as you get done with that right there and you start to pick yourself up, another hurdle going to come in. Boom. You got to go make funeral arrangements. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get done with that, another hurdle going to come in. Boom. You got to talk to the prosecutor's office. As soon as you get done with that, another hurdle going to come in. Boom. You need to go take clothes down to the funeral home. As soon as you get done with that right there, another hurdle going to come in. Boom. You got to write the obituaries. It's like going through this process every single time you think you get one up. Something come into place where it feel like it's going to set you 3 steps back for every 1 step you move forward in this process right here. For me, that's the way it felt. It felt like every step I moved forward and I started to feel better about myself. It was another part of the process that came in and knocked me 2 steps back. And I think that thinking about it now, the download that I just got is made to be that way. So you don't keep on thinking with the mind that you developed when you first found out that your child was gone. Because that's a different type of mind that you're dealing with right there. And you don't know it at the time because you're so full of grief. That's a different kind of mind that you're dealing with at that time, man. And slowly but surely, because you under grief, it started chipping away. You know, it just started chipping away. It started chipping away. It started chipping away at your spirit. And then all the way till you feel so low in grief to where this stuff is lasting years. It's lasting longer than what it should. Now, I'm not the one to tell nobody how long grief should last. I'm not the one to do that. Grief it lasts person by person. Nobody tell you how long you grieve, okay? Can't nobody tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Period. And that includes me. But in some cases, we can minimize how long that grieving process is. We know not to live in that grieving process. When you learn your spirit, because you won't learn that right there because of all these hurdles that you have leading up to the funeral. There's many hurdles. For y'all that ain't never been through that, there are many hurdles that you have to hop before you get to the service. And I told you, man, some of these hurdles could be so overwhelming that you don't even have a chance to grieve at that point. You too worked up, you too tired, you running around, you doing this, you doing that. You know, for me, I had people, fortunately for me, I had like I said, my support team was the best. I had the greatest support team ever. My support team was the best. I had the best support team that I could have asked for. But for those that don't have that support team, you know what I'm saying? This right here is some of the stuff that they have to go through. They don't get a chance to even grieve, man. Not properly. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people, man, they hold it in so much, it causes them to have other health problems. And that right there, when you start having like those health issues like that right there is on the low realm of energy. When your energy is up, you don't have that. It won't allow that sickness to come in like that. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, we work that sickness into ourselves, and then it's harder to get that sickness out. And it starts up here because you're going to make yourself sick. Just like your mind can heal you, it can make you sick. And just like your mind can make you sick, it can heal you. You understand? But that right there is what I'm talking about. You got to start being mindful of the type of downloads that you getting around that time in between your child's passing and the service, because it's so much stuff. It's so much stuff that's in the way that really block your mindset that you're not really thinking of what just woke up inside of you. Something woke up inside of you. But then they got many different things that's put in place to make sure that you stay in la la land. And as long as you in la la land, you can be controlled. You can be controlled in la la land. Because I'm going to tell you something. After your child gone, whatever type of life or whatever it was that your child was doing and all that other stuff up until that point, all that stuff is null and void. That's hard to hear. You know how hard that was for me to hear that when it came to me that way. And I'm sitting back looking at myself and I'm like, you know what, to be honest with you, I mean, I can't really argue against it. It's true. Something you don't want to hear, but it's null and void at this point. Ain't nothing, what can you do and how is you benefiting off of it now? You know what I mean? Like, it's null and void. You got to move on from now. You got to move everything, like what Pac say, everything starts from now. It's like having a new beginning. It's like almost feeling like your life restarted. Your life restarted. Somehow, something restarted in you. In me, it did. Something restarted in me. I don't know what the hell it was. And I can't really put my finger on it, y'all, but I'm telling you, if you know what it is, comment it and let me know what you think it is. But something lit up in me, for real. And the only how I could stay away from whatever it was that lit up in me is to keep on thinking about this funeral, keep on thinking about autopsy pictures, keep on thinking about the worst of the situation. You know what I'm saying? That's how you stay in that land right there. You got to keep on thinking, and for you to think about it, that's something that you will have to do. You will realize if you really realize it, you will realize that you are thinking about certain things. In many cases, you can't help it. You can't help it in many cases. What you can help is that when you recognize it, you know that this is me doing this to myself. This is me doing this to myself. Because once you open up your eyes to the spirit part, you gonna see that, wait a minute, that wasn't really real? You mean to tell me that what I seen wasn't real? You think this stuff real? That wasn't real? Man, let me tell y'all this story, man. I was sitting upstairs, me and Junior Mom was sitting upstairs, man. And we was having we was looking at I want to say Seatbelt Psychic, or we was looking at an NDE. An NDE, that's a near-death experience video. You know what I'm saying? Those right there really helped us. Like especially in the beginning. Once we was able to actually listen to something, because for maybe the first couple of months, you ain't really able to hear nothing. You ain't really able to hear nothing. You will hear your child, but you're not really able to hear nothing though, for real. You know what I'm saying? So when you become open to listening to something, you know what I'm saying, stuff will come to you if you on following your spirit. So we up there talking and everything, and something just kept on saying hoodie, and I kept on hoodie. And I asked, I said, "Do Junior got a hoodie?" And then she said, "Yeah," and he was saying that it was a green hoodie. Junior got a green hoodie or something. Like, no, he got a gray hoodie with a green top, and it's this color green and such. And I'm like, oh my God, that is exactly what he just told me. That's what just came to my mind, and I said it out loud without realizing that. I said, oh my God, out real loud. That wasn't supposed to come out, but it did. So check it out. I'm gonna take it a little further. When she confirmed that what I heard, now I didn't say nothing. It just came to my mind. I said, and I asked her, because it was coming to mind. It just kept coming. When you get into that spirit realm, You will hear this stuff, I'm telling you. And sometimes to confirm that, you just got to check in with it, with somebody. Kept on saying hoodie, up to the point where I'm like, you know what, do he got a hoodie around here somewhere, or a green hoodie and all? And she confirmed it. Now, I don't remember this hoodie. But the colors that I just gave her a color and she went into depth on what color the hoodie was and everything. Check this out. Same conversation. Me and Junior. Same conversation. So, I said, Junior. I'm telling myself, man, I'm so sorry, man. I'm telling him I'm so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry you had to go through all that stuff by yourself. I'm sorry you had to ride that ambulance ride by yourself. Sorry Daddy couldn't be there for you. I promise you that I'll be there for you. You know. And because of this right here, my promise could not be kept. I'm sorry you had to go through all that by yourself. And I heard my son tell me I was not there. What? I'm listening to this. That's what I'm telling you, man. It'll blow your mind if you paying attention. He said he wasn't there. This is my son talking to me, y'all. I can hear it. This is why I'm saying you got to pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to your spirit. He said, I wasn't there. I said, he said, no, I was with y'all. That's what he told me. And it was so clear. I knew it was, my spirit knew. I couldn't explain it, but I knew that was him talking to me. I knew it. Like, just as sure as you know you talking to me right now, that's how sure I knew it was him. He said that he wasn't there. He wasn't laying in the street. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't him. He said he was with us. And that blew my mind. It blew my mind. So now, that right there came because after looking at some of these videos, it allowed me to see what I couldn't see before. And then I was able to hear what he was saying. But he sure did, man. He told me that he was not there. So I'm sitting up there like, wait a minute, if you're not there, then where was you? I was with y'all. And to confirm that he was with us, we was hearing stuff around the house. So I know he wasn't lying. Because the stuff that was happening around the house, the non-physical stuff that was happening around the house, I forgot the word for lack of better words, that stuff, it was happening around the house, stuff moving and falling and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we already thought we already knew that he was around, and we already knew that had to be him doing that. Everybody agreed with that. But when I heard it come from him, I was like, man, it almost made me feel like, for real. It almost made me feel like, man, I feel stupid almost in a way. I'm doing all this crying. I'm doing all this hurting. I'm doing all this stuff to myself. And you mean to tell me that you was with me the whole time? See, that's because I was looking for you with these eyes right here. It was these eyes right here that I was looking for you with. I wasn't looking for you, with these eyes. These wasn't the eyes I was looking for you with. I was looking for you with these eyes. So that's why that's the reason why I say, man, you stay silent long enough, it'll come to you, man. But you got to be willing and ready to accept it, because when it come to you, you gonna know if it's real. This ain't gonna be something where you got a second thought. This right here is gonna be real. That's the best way I could put it to you. It's gonna be 100%. When I tell you, that's what I'm talking about. But you gotta connect back with your spirit, man. You gotta connect back with your spirit. And in order for you to connect back to your spirit, you're gonna have to be honest with yourself on certain things. You're gonna have to go back into your own personal get up within yourself and be honest with yourself on certain things. And I'm telling you, when you go do that work right there, it doesn't feel good. It's not a good feeling. That's why a lot of people don't want to do it, because that's not a good feeling that's attached to going back to yourself and doing the work and looking at what you did previously versus, the outcome that you got. That don't feel good. And people will bypass that. So we're not going to bypass it. We're going to do the work. And for the ones that don't do the work, you will know about it. Trust me. You're going to know about the ones that's not doing the work. And the ones that's not doing the work, they can't hide that they're not doing the work. Because again, you're looking at the body language. They cannot hide body language. You cannot hide your body language. You can say whatever you want to say. And that right there stuff is just all it is. It ain't nothing but words. Your body gonna tell everything. And that right there is a language that can't nobody hide. You can't hide your body language. Even when you think you're doing it. When you trying to hide your body language, it's going to show that you are hiding your body language. See, you think that you can just get up out of this right here by telling people, yeah, I'm healed, I'm okay. I'm this right here. Yeah. No. The way you moving, it says otherwise. The way you moving says otherwise. And guess what? I ain't even saying nothing. I'm just watching you. I'm just watching you. I'm just watching you. See? That's what I'm talking about. That's part of doing the work, man. And when you do the work and that spirit come to talk to you, you gonna know for sure that's that spirit. That's how, because you done got so much of that garbage out of your system. You done got so much of that, all these dirty conversations out of your system. You ain't letting nobody come to you, talking to you about stuff that don't allow you to move forward or talk about somebody else's business. You not allowing none of that stuff. You ain't listening to no gossip. You ain't, listen. If it ain't helping me along my way, along this journey, you cutting it out. You cutting it out. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else is for free. You don't get nothing else for free no more. You don't get free services no more. Nothing else is free. Just as cutthroat as it was when you lost your child, that's as cutthroat as your spirit about to be. If not, you fall back into la la land. And there's a lot of people that's still in la la land. People still 4, 5, 6 years into grieving. Again, you can't tell nobody how long to grieve. But just know that when you see that right there, you know some of these people just haven't did the work. They haven't did the work. And I'm just here to call a spade a spade. I done lost a child so I can speak on it. Because I know what type of work needs to be done. And this right here ain't the type of work that needs to be done. Ain't nothing that you're going to do in no 24, 48 hours. This right here going to take practice. And it's going to be a daily. And it's going to be a month after, it's going to be a day after day, week after week, month after month, and probably year after year. And before you know it, you ain't going to even recognize who you used to be no more, man. You probably won't even recognize who you used to be. I don't know how that right there look from the outside looking in. I'm just telling you from the inside looking out. I don't know how that look from the outside looking in. I'll tell you that for sure. Couldn't tell you that right there, Jack. I don't know how that look from the outside looking in. But from the inside coming out, you ain't gonna feel like the same person no more. Now, it's up to you if you want to be that. That's gonna be up to you if you want to be that same person or not. Or you want to elevate into something else different. Because when I elevate, I'm not de-elevating. That's it. Either you gonna come up here with me or I'm leaving you behind. That's just it. And I'm not playing this time. I'm not playing. That go for everybody. You coming up here where I'm at or I'm leaving you behind. That's just it. Because like I said, up here, mentally, I got bigger fish to fry. And I ain't trying to be on your squad all the way down here. If I got to come all the way down here to be on your squad, you can stay down there. I don't need to be around there, and I'm just going to keep on calling a spade a spade. Flat out. You want to stay down there? I don't care how close you is to me. If you want to keep on staying all the way down there, you can stay down there. I'm not about to stay down there. It's too much suffering down there where you at. Down there on that realm down there where you at down there, it's too much suffering down there. I don't want to be down there no more. I'm not about to be down there no more. No. That's not to say that you won't have moments or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? You still gonna have moments. You know what I'm saying? Again, the thing about it is you don't live in that moment. Again, we being victorious. We not gonna keep on being no victims in this mess, man. This right here shit sucks. It sucks ass. And we ain't about to keep on being no victims in this mess, man. No. Absolutely not. Abso-freaking-lutely not. We're going to start calling spades. We're going to start calling people out. We're going to start, hey, it is what it is. You wide open. And this is the part right here that the funerals were supposed to take away. This is the part that the prosecutors were supposed to take away. This is the part that the demons were supposed to take away. This right here is the part that the people that's around you that don't really like you, but they just around you just to keep score, just to keep tabs, check your temperature here and there, see where you at mentally. Yeah. This right here was the part that they were supposed to take away from you. Because in the beginning when this stuff right here happened, it opened you wide open. This right here got wide open. And all the stuff that happened in between that time was supposed to close it right back. You will know how far somebody has healed depending on how they act. And I know that based off of me. Because when at times when I got my moments, when I come into my moments, when I'm thinking about my son, man, listen, at some point in time, like I said, I'm in the shower and hey, no matter how much you cry, that boy ain't coming back. So why is you doing this to yourself? I'm like, damn, do you got to talk to me like that? This is me. It sounds crazy, but this is me. I'm in the shower and I'm crying my ass off and it's telling me, whatever this is, whoever it was saying, no matter how much you cry, that boy is not coming back to this realm. So why is you doing this to yourself? You know he ain't coming back. Why you keep on doing this to yourself? Why? You know this boy ain't coming back to this realm and you know he ain't went nowhere in spirit. In spirit, he right there with you. But see, when you hear that stuff and you're not spiritually connected, when you hear people, oh yeah, he always be with you in your spirit and stuff like that, ain't hitting on nothing. You got to be spiritually connected to understand, because at some point in time, you got that answer before and you knew that they was with you. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually, yeah. But at that time, before you get to that point, nobody is hearing that. Okay? You don't hear that. This is why you pay attention and you do the work. I keep on stressing that you do the work. You have to want to do the work. Going in to talk to people, you know, and therapists and all that other stuff. I mean, that's okay. And it might work for some that need it. Again, it's a tool. You use the tool for what you need it for. Church is the tool. You use the tool for what you need it for. God is the tool. You use the tool for what you need it for. You see what I'm saying? And if you're not using these tools, you can't be mad at something that's not working. Try to use the tool. Try. You gotta try. You gotta try. You gotta try. You can't just stay back and live in it. Because again, you do more damage to yourself, especially when you know better. And that's the reason why I keep saying this right here about myself. I be like, man, some of this stuff I know better. And it still bothers me. So for the ones that ain't did no work, I know exactly what you feeling. And that's the reason why I tried to hurry up and come up out of that right there, because it's too much pain down there. For the ones that ain't did the work, that's where the pain at. If you ever wanted to find out where that pain was, that pain is right there wherever you ain't did the work at. And how do you find out where to start at? Wherever it is that bring you down the most. That's where you start at. You know what I'm saying? If mentioning their name, if that right there is enough to bring the house down, if that right there is enough to bring the house down just by you mentioning their name, you got a lot of work you need to do. That's what your spirit gonna tell you. Hey man, you got a lot of work you need to do. You mean to tell me I can't say Junior without balling up and busting down the tears and all this other stuff? You mean to tell me I can't do that? Oh, well then you know that person need a lot of work. That person got some work they need to do. That's how you gauge that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you can't have this conversation without saying, come on, man, let's not. I'm talking about the conversation gets so heartfelt to where, yeah, you might drop a tear or two, but not to the point to where you say, man, let's just talk about something else. And you got some more work you need to do. Start there. If you're looking for a starting point, start at the toughest part, that whatever it is for the toughest part for you to think about your child, start there. Cause it was a long time before I could find me a point. I had to find me some type of starting point. When you go through this right here, you don't even know where to start to heal at, for real. You don't know where to start to heal at. You got to find you a point to heal. You got to find a starting point. So it was like, where do I start at? I didn't even know where to start at. I ain't lying. I ain't know where to start to heal at for a very long time. It was when other things started to come in, you know, when people started bringing you suggestions, you know, hey, have you tried this? Look inside this right here. Have you tried that? See, the stuff that other people, that some people tried to go open up your Bible. Go do this, go do that. Man, we've been listening to this Bible thing my whole life. So, and then at that time like that, like I said, I ain't know where to start. Plus me and God was beefed out anyway. We was beefed out anyway. So I wasn't trying to hear nothing. None of that stuff had to say anyway. See, that right there wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. That wasn't what got me to going. What got me to going, like I said, was the fact that I went and listened to psychic mediums that really told me about me, that really told me about my son, that touched directly to me and touched directly on my son. They didn't take me through all that other stuff about the Bible verses and stuff like that, and stuff that I have to look at symbolically. None of this stuff I have to look at symbolically. I look at it on his face for what it is. And that helped me to start to find myself spiritually. Once you find yourself spiritually, a lot of that stuff just gonna start falling off. It's gonna start falling off. You almost gonna start, at some point in time, you're gonna start to feel guilty for not thinking about your loved one, because it'd be some days I didn't even think about them because I was too busy doing something else, and I was feeling too good to think about them, talking about some laying in the streets and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You gonna think about them. When you think about them, it's gonna be in a good way. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be in a good way. But you got to do the work. You got to do the work, and it's it takes some. It's gonna take some kahunas. It's gonna take some kahunas. It's gonna take some might. It's gonna take a whole lot of discipline, of discernment, man. Like I said, it's a journey. It's definitely a journey. It's definitely a journey, man, that you're going to have to endure, and you got to endure it on your own. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say that you can't interact with people, but when you're doing your work, you're doing your work. And you don't care who looking, and you don't care who behind you, and none of this other stuff. I got negative energy on me. Guess what I'm about to go do? I'm about to go ground. I'm about to go ground myself, get some of that negative energy up off me. Take my shoes off, and I'm gonna wet my feet up, and I'm gonna go sit right here in my grass while this sun right here is shining straight on my forehead. And I'm about to ground myself, get rid of some of this negative energy that I might feel. Because see, let me tell you something, when you get spiritual like that right there, man, you will be able to feel that energy right up in here. Do you understand what I'm saying? You'll be able to feel that energy right here, off up in here in your chest cavity area, Jack. You will know. You could literally feel your energy go up, and you can feel your energy go down. And you know when your energy go down, you gonna know how that feel, because you ain't gonna feel like nothing. When your energy go up, you gonna know how that feel. But you ain't gonna know how that feel if you ain't did the work, man. If you ain't did the work, if you sitting down here steady trying to grieve and all this other stuff. Nah, we getting past that mess right there, man. Forget all that. Forget all that. I'm not trying to go in this bad boy grieving no 2 and 3 and 5 years. That's like I said, that's not to say that you won't have a moment, but don't live in it. Don't live in it. But, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. I'm gonna get on up out of here. I will get back with y'all tomorrow on my next video. Go check me out. It's, Roni84_ over there at TikTok, I believe. Roni84_ over there at TikTok, I believe. And then Hey Uncle Roni on YouTube. Go over there, subscribe, share, like, and comment, and do the same thing with this video right here, y'all, so I can get this right here stuff out. And, you know, I can get some traction, y'all, because, they be messing with my stuff over here. I'm very, very close to cutting out my videos here and just taking them to another platform, because my traction over here ain't really where it been at. But this right here has been my longest holding platform that I've had since forever. So help me get this stuff up out of here, y'all. You know, help me help somebody else. And guess what? In this process, somebody helping me too. I ain't gonna lie to you. These people are helping. The people over there on TikTok, they helping. Y'all go join my TikTok page. Look at them comments over there on TikTok, man. This is one of the reasons why I feel the way I feel. Go look at and read some of them comments under some of my shorts that I got on TikTok. Man, it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind, dog. It will blow your mind. Later.